final road trip of the season. The Edenton Steamers have traveled down to Tarboro to play the River Bandits in the third to last game of the regular season, as these two teams match up in a Premier Collegiate League Eastern Division game. Myself, Ray Dunn, Adam Fine taking you through the entire game. And Adam, tonight's game not meaning as much after what the River Bandits did yesterday.
Well, yes, the Steamers cannot clinch the 1 seed and win the division. However, they can still win playoffs, obviously. But there are still plenty of things to watch for tonight. Jacob Mustang shaved his famous mustache. Brantley Cutler, his hometown here in Tarboro. So this is reunion here in Tarboro. And you're going to see every single Steamer pitcher in these next 3 games.
Yes, you are. So the River Bandits sweeping the Greenbrier Knights yesterday in the doubleheader played here at Tarboro Municipal Stadium. That locked the Premier Collegiate League Eastern Division crown for them. They will be the 1 seed. The Steamers will host the Greenbrier Knights on Friday in the first game of the divisional championship bracket. We will tell you all about that and some of the different scenarios that can come out of that bracket as we move through the broadcast. As for what we're looking at tonight here in Tarboro, Blake Gibson, the right-hander from the University of Mount Olive, taking the mound for the Steamers. And Adam, what are we expecting out of him?
Well, he's going to treat it like a bullpen type outing. He is starting the game, however, he's not going to go many innings because they're trying to save him for the playoffs. So he's going to treat it like it's a bullpen and give it his all for those 2 innings and not try and save anything for perhaps the 5th or 6th like he did the last time he was a starting pitcher.
As for what we're going to see out of Tarboro, Dawson Smith taking the mound for the River Bandits. He has not pitched for the River Bandits yet this summer. A new addition to the team. We were talking to the press box up here at Tarboro, asking him about Smith. Their guess was as good as ours. They said they have never seen him. They've heard good things. We will see what we get out of Dawson Smith tonight, as the River Bandits have had a bit of a reshuffling of their roster over the last couple of days. What we're going to see on the field, let's take you through the lineups tonight. Chase Bruno, the shortstop, leading off for the Steamers. Hunter Cole getting night off in the field. He's the designated hitter.
Well, for Hunter Cole, last night at our team banquet, we gave him the key to the city of Edenton, as our joke is he is Mr. Edenton for the Aces. Excuse me, not the Aces, the Edenton Steamers. And so he's wearing that key tonight, so we'll see if that leads to some base hits.
Let's hope it does. Number 3 in the order, Jacob Bisharat. The catcher, Joe Haney, batting cleanup. He's at second base. Jackson Hipp in right field. He's batting 5th. And in case you missed Saturday's game against this River Bandits team, a 13-1 victory thanks in large part to Jackson Hipp's bat. 2 home runs, including a grand slam, 7 RBIs on the night. That night alone pushed him to 20 RBIs on the season. He's now 2nd on the team. Josh Pernetti is batting 6th at 3rd base tonight. And Brantley Cutler making the return to Tarboro. He's in center field batting 7th.
Well, yeah, he had a really big game against Tarboro last time in Edenton. He's going to look to do that again tonight. He's already talking to a lot of his former teammates, and it's always special when you come back to the place you used to play.
Absolutely. And Jacob Mustang, the first baseman, batting 8th. Ryan Kay in left field and batting 9th. Again, the pitcher, Blake Gibson, for the Steamers tonight. On the other side, the home team for this game, Anthony Sherwin. Talks about him all season. The shortstop for the River Bandits leading off. Dane Hoggard, the first baseman, batting 2nd. Levi Aguila, the left fielder, batting 3rd. Aguila spent most of his time this season behind the plate, getting a chance to play in the field in tonight's game. Jack Klimovic is the designated hitter, batting cleanup. Nick Hussey, the right fielder, batting 5th. And Hussey, the walk-off in Game 2 last night that clinched the division for the River Bandits. It was 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Tarboro able to come out on top and get that division title. Michael Dolberry, the center fielder, is batting 6th. Cam Hassert, second baseman, is batting 7th. Kevin Jones, the third baseman, batting 8th. And Robert Beatty, the catcher, batting 9th. Again, Dawson Smith, the pitcher, on the mound this evening for the River Bandits. Steamers coming into this game 19-15 on the season, 12-10 in the PCL East. The River Bandits 23-12 overall, 16-8 in the division. Again, they are the division champs. So the brackets have been set on both sides. We're going to take you through all of that throughout the game, what to expect from the Premier Collegiate League playoffs. For right now, the Steamers trying to pick up some steam as we move closer to the playoffs. 3 more on the schedule. We'll bring you tonight's final road trip of the regular season from Tarboro. Adam Fine, myself, Ray Dunn. You can see coaches meeting with the umpires. Means we're just moments away from baseball here at Tarboro Municipal Stadium. When there's baseball to talk about, we'll be back to talk about it with you. You've been tuned in to the Edenton Steamers pregame report. Welcome into Tarboro Municipal Stadium here in Tarboro, North Carolina for the Edenton Steamers' final road trip of the regular season. This game against the Tarboro River Bandits, who have clinched the Premier Collegiate League Eastern Division. 3 more games in the regular season. The postseason picture is all set. We will take you through that. We will take you through all the action here tonight. Adam Fine alongside myself, Ray Dunn, Chase Bruno leading things off against Dawson Smith. We get going another night of baseball here in North Carolina. First pitch missing 1-0. Smith's 1-0, missing outside, 2-0.
Smith showing his face for the first time with the River Bandits and back-to-back curveballs. Interesting.
Maybe you had heard that Bruno's been pretty aggressive early on, doing a scouting report.
That's why I said it was interesting, mainly because how would he know that Bruno's the first pitch fastball hitter early in the count as a leadoff guy? So I'm not sure what type of information they're digging up.
And Bruno is walked on 4 pitches. Leadoff man aboard for the Steamers.
If they know that about Chase Bruno, they definitely know that Hunter has the keys to the city, and I wouldn't be surprised that for Dawson Smith to flip in a couple more curveballs as well.
Want to apologize to you guys off bump. We realize that the stream may be a little laggy tonight. We are working on getting everything going. We're taking out the scoreboard for right now to give us a little bit better connection, to give you the best video possible. As 5 straight balls now to start Smith's outing. Hunter Cole coming to bat. This is a Steamers team that beat this River Bandits team 13-1 on Saturday night.
Yeah, it was quite the win for the Clams. Jackson Hipp, need I say more, 7 RBIs. Now second on the team, just like that. Very impressive stuff. His grand slam went to the deepest part of the ballpark, hanging out with that lonely Budweiser sign out there at Historic Hicks.
Imagine working your entire season just to watch one night from Jackson Hipp pass you in every statistical category.
Amazing. That's just when you have these short seasons that are limited because of rain and other issues, there are some nights that just really turn players' seasons around.
So bouncing off the catcher back there, and Bruno going to make his way into second base. A runner in scoring position now for the Steamers, and Hunter Cole ahead 2-0 in the count.
Well, Ray, so far we're getting the story a little bit of what it was last time the Steamers played the River Bandits. A lot of walks, a lot of hit-by pitches, and Dawson Smith is yet to find the strike zone.
New man behind the dish in our eyes, because we usually see Levi Aguila, who's out in left field behind the plate for the River Bandits tonight. It's Robert Beatty with the catching duties. 2-0 to Cole now. Bounced in there, 3-0. That's 7 straight balls.
Yeah, it's beyond me that Smith is going with a curveball here on 2-0 when he has not thrown a strike yet. You know, if Hunter Cole's swinging on 2-0 after 6 straight balls, then you tip your cap to him. But you got to find a way to put the fastball in the zone first and then work to your off-speed later.
So the 3-0 to Cole in there for a strike. He turned around. He thought that he had the free pass. Bruno standing on second base. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Smith coming back.
And you can hear like a book from the Steamers dugout when Smith was with a much slower leg lift there, and they knew something was up. Pitcher's got to keep the same tempo every time, and that's how you get to deceive runners.
Back and the 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2 now. Cole leading the team in just about every statistical category offensively. He's hitting .324 right now, .441 on base percentage, 7 home runs. He's the only one now with more RBIs than Jackson Hipp. He's got 25. Fouls this one off his foot, and he's going to be grateful he's got that day off. His designated hitter as he is now down, feeling the effects of that one on his foot. Jacob Bishrot out there to get to him. Marshall McDonald to him. Trying to come back to his feet.
Yeah, it's just a bruise, Ray. I know it doesn't look too good, but it always ends up just being a bruise. So might hurt in the morning, but I know we've seen a lot of injury scares, and for everyone watching, this is the last guy you want to get injured, but just keep everyone's spirits up. I think that's just a bruise, and he'll be fine by the end of the night.
Courtney Phelps, if you're watching at home.
It'll be okay, Courtney.
Well, it just means you're probably going to have to tape something up tomorrow.
Yeah, just extra supply of tape if you're at the store today, Courtney. Just, you know, heads up.
Full count, Bruno on second base. Smith's pitch home to Cole is grounded back to him, and Smith is going to toss on over to first and get the out. There is one away.
Yep, and the good 90 there by Hunter Cole. He looks fine. Should be good.
Jacob Bishrot coming to bat. He's catching tonight. Did drive in the first run of the game on Saturday night. Opened the scoring. Would be a big night for the offense. He's hit 170 and he hit 324 on base percentage. Driven in 7. Prime opportunity to do so with Bruno over there on second base. Smith stepping off. And Bishrot, he was a ball magnet last week.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it in his face. He just wants to hit. It's getting ridiculous. He just finds a way to take a beating.
Fouls that breaking ball off. 0-1.
Well, if they chose Bishrot to be the one to be hit, that's kind of a good choice. A big body, probably one of the biggest bodies in the team. He definitely can handle it. So I guess that's the positive side that I like to take a look at in that situation. I know Bishrot wouldn't be happy with that analogy, but that's what I'm going to roll with.
I'm glad you're taking the positive side, because I would not be positive after being hit 6 times in 1 week. He grounds this one foul, third base side. 0-2 to him now.
And that's been the thing for Bishrot. He kind of got a little on top of that. Wasn't necessarily a rollover because he hit it hard, but the rollover direction with his barrel pass, so he's got to work on staying through it more and kind of taking that in the left center gap. That's what he did in that single to start the scoring outburst for the Steamers that previous game.
Smith looking back. And his 0-2. Outside, 1-2. I know that you and Bishrot have had a number of lengthy conversations, hitting, baseball, and just kind of working through the mental side of the game.
Yeah, 100%. We find ourselves at historic hicks well after everyone else has left the ballpark, and I check my phone. It's 11 o'clock, and we've just been talking baseball forever.
This ball going to get by to the backstop. Bruno moving on over to third. Steamers have a runner 90 feet, just 1 out, and a 2-2 count to Bishrot.
Well, now this makes Bishrot's job a lot easier. He's got a job to do now, and he's got to really focus on that barrel path, because a ground ball to third might be the one area where Chase Bruno can't score. However, third baseman is playing very deep, so it could work. Cam Hassard on the grass over there at second base. So they're pretty much giving up the run here to get the out.
The 2-2. Upstairs, 3-2. And I'd imagine they've seen Bishrot barrel a baseball before by the way they're standing out there.
Yeah, you got to be careful, especially when that 6'4" frame is staring at you. He hasn't really hit much barrels towards the second base area. That's why I think the third baseman's back, is he knows something's coming at his face.
Full count offering. Bishrot ground ball to third. That one's going to get off of Jones at third base. Bishrot hustling up the line. He's in there safe. A run has scored. The Steamers lead this one 1-0 now in the top of the first inning.
Well, I said you got to be careful hitting the ball to third base, because that could be the one place that Chase Bruno can't score. However, when the third base is playing back and you hit it that hard, you almost always get a little bobble or a boot of some sort, and that's a win-win for the Steamers now, as Chase Bruno was able to score easily. It wasn't even a thought.
So bring up Joe Haney batting cleanup for Haney. He is hitting .238, a .411 on base percentage with 2 home runs and 16 runs batted in. if you're scoring at home. They scored that one in error, put Bishrod on. Steamers with a run, but without a hit. Haney fouls the first one off, 0-1.
And I just want to say, Joe Haney, his average does not reflect his actual contribution on the field this season. Any average in the 230s is not necessarily good, but what he's been able to do, getting on base wise and having clutch at bats, and that's why he's in the 4-hole. So it doesn't really tell the true story of what Joe Haney's been able to do for this team this year.
Bishrot going on the 0-1. That's in there for a strike. Bishrot's in there at second base, his second steal of the summer. Another runner in scoring position.
And that might be the story of the game, Ray. A slow pop from Beatty back behind the plate. Not much velo on that throw, and a slow getting up to it. So the Steamers now taking notes in the dugout, and that's going to be their bread and butter this game.
Haney behind 0-2 as Smith gives a look back at Bishrot. As 0-2 delivery, a swing and a miss, the ball in the dirt. Haney is struck out, and there are 2 away.
I think he lost a little grip there with his batting glove. I don't know if they sell pine tar in Tarboro, but we'll have to look into that for Joe Haney's next at-bat.
I'll bring up Jackson Hipp. If we haven't given enough love in the beginning of this broadcast, we'll bring it up one more time. 2 home runs, a 3-run shot, and a grand slam on Saturday night, and the Steamers' 13-1 win over Tarboro.
Well, we have been giving him a lot of love, but that's because we picked on him a little bit on the team banquet last night. We poking fun. We gave him the Princess Award for most high maintenance on the team. And high maintenance means dealing with injuries, and you always have to check if Hipp's going to be okay to play. And now the flip side to that is he's done a really good job battling and able to stay in the lineup, at least in the box hitting. And it's hard to really give the Princess Award when someone has 2 home runs, you know, the 3-run home run and grand slam variety. So it was nice to poke fun at him a little bit last night.
Oh, yeah.
Gave him a tiara.
He takes it really well.
Yes, he does.
It's 2-0 to him right now. As if you're just joining us, scoreboard feature right now down as we try and bring you the best possible video stream. We'll try and get that back up for you. The 2-0 bending in the front door. It's 2-1. For Hipp overall in the season, he's hitting .250, a .307 on base percentage, 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in.
The only 2 players in the 20s for RBIs this season.
2-1 to him. Fouls that one off, making it 2-2.
So for Hipp, one of the things he's been doing much, much better in this recent spurt of, well, not only power, but also hits, is he's starting to really get his foot down to hit the fastball. He would be late on the fastball and then try and time it back up as the at-bat would continue, and then the pitcher would just flip off speed and we would have him all out of whack.
2-2, rounds this one over third. Jones fielding it cleanly. His throw across the diamond, scooped up by Hoggart, and that will do it for the inning, but not before the Steamers take the lead. Chase Bruno scores on an error on a ground ball from Jacob Bishrot, making it 1-0. 1 run, no hits, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Clams, and the River Bandits coming to bat on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Bottom of the first inning here at Tarboro Municipal Stadium. The River Bandits getting their first chance to bat. Anthony Sherwin, Dane Hoggard, and Levi Aguila all due up. Blake Gibson, the right-hander from University of Mount Olive, getting his second start of the summer. A 2-1 record, a 2.42 ERA in 22 1/3 innings. He struck out 25 in that time. Sherwin coming to bat, and we do want to apologize again for not having the scoreboard function going. It looks like that will not be a feature tonight for us, as our connection has been a bit brutal. Sherwin, who's been a hit machine, gets another right there. Leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, one thing we did not talk about in pregame as a thing to watch for in these next 3 games is the Anthony Sherwin versus Hunter Cole MVP race. Sherwin, that hit will bring him over 410 average, and that is well above Hunter Cole. However, Hunter Cole well above Sherwin in the power category, while also turning in a pretty solid average in the 320s. So that can definitely be something to watch for. If Anthony Sherwin's able to stay above 400.
Gibson slipping on the ground ball from Hoggard. Going to have to quickly make that throw to first, and he gets Hoggard at first, putting a runner on second, trying to get him to turn 2.
That could have been trouble. And really impressive for Blake Gibson to fire in a fastball over to Jacob Mustang at first. And it looks like ankle or something. That the playing surface here is not up to par with the historic Hicks Field, so that can definitely lead to some problems. He looks to be all right.
Marsh McDonald just checking on him. Jacob Bishart, give him a pat on the back, and that's a welcome sign, seeing Blake Gibson going back out there. As you said, that could be a catastrophe for the Steamers, one of the most reliable arms on this team.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to be a very important key to the Steamer bullpen, as they're going to have to work through the 2 seed and have to come back into Tarboro if they win Game 1 of the playoffs against the Greenbrier Knights.
Gibson's first pitch in there for a strike to Levi Aguila.
Going back to the MVP race, Ray, if Anthony Sherwin's average were to drop below 400 and be in the 390s or so, that could give Hunter Cole a bigger boost for the MVP. However, if Sherwin stays above 400, it would be really hard to not give it to Sherwin, because his team also in first place.
It'll be interesting to see the way the league goes on that. I think the Steamers have a number of guys up for a number of different awards, and just the good spots they've been able to put this team in throughout the season. Gibson's 0-2, missing 1 and 2 now to Aguila.
You also want to talk about, again, how impressive that throw over to first was from Gibson. He's feeling some pain and also had very little time to fire a strike over there. Sometimes pitchers have what we like to call the yips, where when you're not supposed to like throw it 100%, because you can't throw it 100% from the pitcher mound to first base, because they're not catcher, they're not really expecting that. So you have to throw it at least like 80 or 70%, and when pitchers do that, they might lose all control. And it's a weird phenomenon. It's like a mental block type thing, and Gibson showed that he does not have that issue.
Yeah, it's that trying to take a little too much off. Sometimes the easiest throws become the toughest.
Yeah, 100%. You either spike it or it just goes into the stadium.
2-2 line foul, left field line.
I'm definitely a victim of the yips. As an outfielder, when I'm throwing the bases, I'm usually throwing super over the top, super, 100% effort, getting my legs underneath me. So if I were to head out into the infield, say second base, and have to make a play and throw it to first, I might lose all control. It's a good thing we didn't have to see that this year.
Gibson looking back at second base is 2-2. Left on the front doorstep, it's 3-2.
In fact, last year when we had a couple games that were blowouts, and so Marshall McDonald put me at second base for a couple innings, and there was one play kind of in the hole. I charged it, and I made a throw, and I just spiked that thing right in the dirt, and everyone was looking at me like, what is going on?
Full count pitch, missing. Ball 4. They'll put 2 on, just 1 out for the River Bandits. Bring up Jack Kulimovic. The Steamers lead this one right now 1-0 after putting 1 across in the top of this first inning. Now the River Bandits threatening. And I think what you're talking about is kind of a testament to the utility guy. Someone who can play all over the diamond. Might not get enough credit for the defensive prowess that they have.
Yeah, 100%. A person that is definitely really good with that stuff, Joe Haney, because you can see him play third, you can see him play second, you see him play the outfield. He has a really quick and short arm slot, meaning he just doesn't take him long to get his throw off, as, let's say, a Jackson Hip would. And as a result of that, he's able to avoid the yips. However, yips are also a mental thing. You can throw with any arm motion you want, and if you're strong mentally, you should be fine. But Joe Haney definitely really solid in that regard.
From Gibson, hit in the air, shallow right field. Hip coming on, Haney going out. He's able to make the grab over his shoulder, getting a little nervous there as those two start making their way out, and Haney just flailing his hand out to make that grab.
Yeah, well, we talked about the yips, but it looks like he can also catch a pop fly as well. That was a little scary. You're right, Ray. When he stuck his hand out, kind of like an Olay type play, I always get a miniature heart attack.
Nick Hussey, a new uniform number tonight, wearing number 36. He's in right field. He's come up to bat with 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, even LeBron changed numbers when he went to Miami, right? So he's going to change numbers this year for the Lakers. You never know. Things happen.
First pitch to Hussey. Breaking ball, finding the outer portion of the plate, 0-1. Love to be a fly on the wall for the conversation between Chase Brew and Anthony Sherwin. That's a lot of talented middle infielders speak.
Hey, good hair, too, Ray.
Leadoff men that have been hitting the baseball rather well, especially over the last month.
100%. Both number 4. Both with great hair, both a middle infielder, both leadoff hitters, both wearing number 4. Wow.
Are they the same person?
Could be.
I guess we have seen them on the same field, so that kind of ruins that theory. Nonetheless, 1-1 from Gibson, grounded foul. It's going to bounce its way into the Steamers dugout.
A little cue ball there.
1-2 now. Gibson.
You can see Sherwin chatting up Joe Haney as well. When you get to this point in the season and playing Tarboro so many times, you start to become friends. And so everyone knows each other pretty well.
1-2 from Gibson. Bounced in there, getting past Bisharat and going to the backstop. Second and third now. Tough hop there for Bisharat. And on top of just being friends, that middle infielder right there is a group of all-stars. They all got to be on the same team on Friday night. I know if I got a chance to talk to Anthony Sherwin, they definitely got a chance to talk to Anthony Sherwin.
Yeah, Ray, you got a chance to talk to some people, though, so hold your head high.
Well, as a coach, obviously, you get a chance to talk to people.
Yeah, to be honest, though, Ray, I don't think Anthony Sherwin would take any hitting advice from you. I think he's doing just fine.
I was getting pointers for BP tomorrow, actually, from Anthony Sherwin. 2-2 from Gibson. Outside, 3-2.
Yeah, we have the front office taking batting practice tomorrow. I'll give you some few pointers, maybe elbow up, you know, something like that. Eye on the ball, Ray.
Yeah, I'll be sure. I'll get my hacks in tomorrow morning in the cages before. 3-2 from Gibson. This one popped into the air. Bisharat in foul territory, looking up. Shifting over now and making the grab, and that will do it for the bottom of the first inning. The Riverband's threaten, put 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. Leave them there. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We head to the top of the second inning here on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Welcome back to Tarboro Municipal Stadium here in Tarboro, North Carolina. River Bandits and Steamers, second inning coming up. But before we get back to baseball, if you have a slow computer, broken cell phone, get personal professional help at Edenton IT, located at 203 South Broad Street right here in downtown Edenton for all your computer and cell phone repair needs. Again, that's Edenton IT at 203 South Broad Street in downtown Edenton. Steamers leading this one 1-0. Josh Pernetti due up to lead off this inning. It's Brantley Cutler and Jacob Mustaine behind the 6, 7, 8 portion of this order. Steamers put one across in the top of the first. Chase Bruno led off the game with a walk. Came around to score. Ground ball from Jacob Bisharot. Kicked around and the throw bounced away to put him on base.
That's another curveball to start here from Dawson Smith.
You know, Josh Burnett had some success at this ballpark just a few nights ago. That Friday night All-Star Game festivities, he hit a number of home runs. He drives this one foul.
There's another home run. Only problem, into the street foul.
Yes, 1-1. 6 home runs in the final round of the Home Run Derby, beating the Greenbrier Knights' Jose Cazorla. The two put on a show at the end of that one.
Yeah, a lot of really good pictures. There's one really good one of Hunter Cole just in disbelief about how far a Jose Cazorla bomb went.
1-1 bouncing in there. It's now 2-1. And again, if you are looking for our scoreboard feature tonight, we want to apologize. Our connection just not with us right now, so we're getting the best video we can to you. For that, we had sacrificed the scoreboard. Top of the second. Steamers leading 1-0, 3-1 now to Pernetti. The 3-1 now. Another one that he just crushes foul and put the Cars on alert down further on the block as he is ripping baseballs foul.
Yeah, not one, but 2 souvenirs now for whose ever house is living, I don't know, I'd say a good 350 plus feet from Tarboro Municipal Stadium.
Probably leave their house every day. Think, no, there's no chance baseball can get us. Well, they haven't seen Josh Pernetti. That's the full count offering to him now. Pops this one into the air, left field. Aguila coming on and makes the grab. There is one away.
Well, you know what you do, Ray, when you hit 2 balls into the street foul? You go with the curveball away, and that's how you get Pernetti there. A good pitch from Dawson Smith.
Smith will have to face a bat familiar to this stadium. Brantley Cutler spent the better part of the last 2 summers here at Tarboro Municipal Stadium. Now, member of the Steamers. It's been a welcome sight for Steamers fans. He's hitting .308 since he joined the Steamers. Home run and 6 RBIs. He takes the strike 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple tough games at first, but then once Tarboro came to town, it was the floodgates just opened, and Brantley had an incredible day. It's something about seeing purple when you're in the box.
Fouls the 0-1 back, 0-2. Smith really trusts that off-speed stuff.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of it tonight, too, in any type of count. 2-0, 0-0, now 0-1. So you got to just think sick curveball even sometimes.
0-2. Cutler ground this one over to first. Bobbled a bit. Cutler coming up the line. Toss to the pitcher just in time to get him at first base, and there are 2 away.
And Brantley hit that hard, and it was a foot race to the bag. Smith, a good PFP, pitcher's fielding practice. And now there's 2 away. But you never want a truly sick curveball, but you really got to have it in the back of your mind when you get deep into counts, even if you're behind or ahead. And especially for the guys in the front of the order, maybe you want to sick curveball on the first pitch, because then if it's not in the zone, if you foul it off, whatever, 0-1, and you'll try it again. But a lot of times that's what you want to do when this pitcher like Dawson Smith is pitching backwards a lot.
Jacob Mustaine is going to pitch inside 1-0 to him now. He's hitting 164, 370 on base percentage. 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs this summer. Get start at first base. 2-0 to him now. And it's interesting, these teams not playing their 10th matchup. Seeing Dawson Smith on the mound, this is probably the first time in the last 3 or 4 matchups in which these teams are seeing a pitcher on one side that hasn't pitched against them yet.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like this is a completely new team, because as a hitter, when you're in the box, you don't want to worry about anything but the pitcher in that moment. You just want to stay present in that regard. And so it's almost like, you're playing in a similar ballpark, but your focus is just like it's a new, just a completely new team.
3-0 to Mustaine now. Takes ball 4, 4-pitch walk, 2-out base runner for the Steamers. Mustaine's on-base percentage continues to climb, over 200 points higher than his average.
Well, we talked about quality at-bat percentage for Jacob Mustang. It just keeps on keeping on. I don't know if it's the mustache, Ray, because that thing is gone. He looks pretty good, if you ask me.
Looks like a new man coming onto the bus today. It's Ryan Kay coming about, the left fielder. He's in the 207, a 277 on base percentage, a home run, and 10 RBIs. 1-0 to him now. He's not the only one that had a little bit of change in the facial hair. Spencer Ambrose also shaving everything off.
Well, Spencer Ambrose had a lengthy beard as well, so he shaved both, and he really looks like a new man. Tyra said when Spencer Ambrose walked on the bus, he said, "I didn't know we got a new player."
You would think they're shaving to begin growing facial hair for the playoff run. Some playoff beards could be in order.
Yeah, it usually goes the opposite way. I know in college when we hit the Atlantic 10 tournament, it was like, you better not shave, or you're cut. That's our joke. That was our running joke at St. Joe's, but I guess it's a little different when you get to summer ball.
The 1-0 sent to right field. Hussey going back and making the grab. That will do it for the inning. Jacob Mustaine worked the 2-out walk. He's left over at first base. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Steamers leading this one 1-0. River Bandits getting a chance to bat in the bottom of the 2nd inning when we come back on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Bottom of the 2nd inning from Tarboro Municipal Stadium. River Bandits getting a chance to bat. They trail the Edenton Steamers 1-0. The Clams got one across in the top of the 1st. As for Tarboro, it's Michael Dolberry, Cam Hassert, and Kevin Jones, the 6, 7, 8 portion of the lineup, getting a chance to bat. Blake Gibson still in the bump for the Steamers. Adam Fine alongside myself, Ray Dunn. 3rd to last game of the regular season, and the final road trip is first pitch ground over to 3rd. Pernetti, that one is going to just bounce off of him, and Dolberry is on base to begin the inning.
Yeah, for Pernetti there, you got to charge that hop. You can't let it eat you up there. He just gave a signal, Blake, my fault. I'll pick you up once again. And Blake said, no problem. But for Pernetti there, kind of new to 3rd base, so we'll give him a pass. But you want to try and go get that ball and get it while it's at its highest point, because once it takes that extra hop, it always when it eats you up.
And you said he's new, playing over there at third base. Spent a lot of his time catching in recent years, trying with these corner infield positions. Cam Hassert cutting and missing at the first pitch to him, 0-1. Hassert, Kevin Jones, the on-deck circle, and then Robert Beatty, the catcher, all due up. Gibson going over to first, just letting Dolberry know he's thinking about him.
Just trying to keep him honest over there.
One hit in the air, left center field, going back. Catch is made at the wall by Ryan Kay, quickly throwing in. First out of the inning, but that one went a long way.
Yeah, phenomenal on both ends. Great swing by Hassert. That's some serious opposite field pop there. And shout out Ryan Kay, putting in the work with Marshall McDonald on his routes and fielding fly balls, and that was no easy one right there to range into the gap like that, especially when you don't have a warning track here at Tarboro, so you really have no idea where the fence is. And so very impressive there from Kay.
Gibson throwing over, and Kay has done a tremendous job almost every day before home games, being out there, working with Marshall McDonald for the last month. Like you said, it paid off right there. First pitch to Kevin Jones, upstairs, 1-0.
Yeah, this field is when you really need outfield communication. No warning track is, I mean, you don't get the warning, so there's just trouble straight away. Definitely really scary stuff, so you got to make sure you communicate with your outfielders to make sure, oh, fence 2 steps, or, you know.
On the throw over, they get him at first base. Dolberry slipped in. Gibson picks him off, and there's 2 away.
Well, now I got to tip my cap to Blake Gibson. Early on, he had a couple slow pickoffs to first base. And then, as a result, Dolberry thinks, okay, that might be his best move. And he can sort of judge his lead based on that. And out of nowhere, Blake Gibson with a really good pickoff move and catches Dolberry by surprise.
This one up the middle of base hit, so get 1 runner off base. He's replaced Kevin Jones now on first. We've seen it quite a few times now. The Steamers pitching staff over the last week or so doing a good job getting runners off base.
Yeah, and it's always rare to see it come from a right-hander. See, for Clark Dearman, he has his eyes on the runner, so when Cazorla took off that one time, he knew to go over. But for Jared Davis in the recent game against Tarboro, and now Blake Gibson, as right-handers, that's very impressive stuff.
Robert Beatty, the catcher, taking a breaking ball to start this AB, 1-0. Jones, Beatty, players that the Steamers have not seen really this season. Jones saw a bit of the game on Saturday. Some new faces trickling in towards the end of the season for Tarboro. 2-0 now to Beatty.
Yeah, this is the 9-hitter. You want to attack him. You do not want to have to face the man on deck, Anthony Sherwin, with 2 guys on.
Gibson looking over at first base. Jones about 2 steps off, and 2-0 misses. It's now 3-0. As Adam mentioned, Anthony Sherwin awaits a 3-0 pitch, missing outside. And that will put Beatty on 2-1 with 2 out for the leadoff man, Anthony Sherwin.
Well, Blake Gibson has done a lot of things right with the out to Hassert and the out on the pickoff play, but now he's getting himself in a little bit of trouble here. Sherwin already 1 for 1. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Haney play on the grass there at second and prevent another single on the pole side, but he is seeing even with the dirt.
First pitch, breaking ball dropping its way into the zone. 0-1 to Sherwin. That's what you expect going after Sherwin. I'm trying to go first pitch fastball to him.
Yeah, especially since that first pitch fastball, Sherwin rocked in between second and first.
0-1. Bouncing in 1-1. And Haney on the edge of the grass. Mustaine also playing a couple of steps back there. He had been at the grass in the last pitch. And Pernetti playing well off the line. Seemed to have an idea of where he's more likely to hit the ball.
Well, exactly, but Sherwin's got very good barrel path, and he can definitely poke it the other way. Do more than poke it, drive it the other way. So you still don't want to give him too much if you're Pernetti, because anything down the third base line is probably 2 runs.
1-1, dropping in, 1-2. Another nice breaking ball from Gibson.
Well, he saved his good breaking balls for Sherwin. Didn't throw his best breaking balls to Beatty in the last at-bat.
Head 1-2, Gibson looking in, likes what he sees. Having a quick look back at second, coming home. Outside, 2-2.
Yeah, you got to be careful here. Sherwin's too good of a hitter to just miss at another curveball down the middle. So Blake Gibson has to be very careful with what he brings here.
2-1, 2 out, 2-2 the count. The pitch popped in the air. Right field, Hip ranging over. Makes the grab, and that will do it for the inning. River Bandits once again threatened in the second. Leave 2 on. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We head to the third inning. Clams coming to bat when we come back on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Steamers leading 1-0. Coming to bat in the top of the third inning. Before we get back to baseball, the 2021 Edenton Steamers merchandise has arrived. There are plenty of ways for you to pick up your new Steamers gear. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and place an order. Stop by Sound Feet Shoes of Edenton or head to the merchandise trailer located behind the first base dugout at historic Hicks Field. Thank you for your support and repping your Steamers gear. Top of the order due up for the Steamers. It's Chase Bruno, Hunter Cole, and Jacob Bishrod. A 1-0 lead. Yet the Clams have yet to get a hit as we start this third inning. Bruno led off the game with a walk. He came around to score in the top of the first.
Well, Ray, good thing about baseball is you don't need hits to win the game. Most important stat, runs. And Steamers has found a way so far.
That is the insightful analysis that we've come to expect from you, Adam. Ground ball to shortstop. Sherwin throwing over, and there is 1 out.
I appreciate it. I'm very knowledgeable.
As we just saw a lightning strike here. Gonna just keep it on. I knew there was a chance for rain in the forecast. That'll keep us on the edge of our seats here.
Well,
We
listen,
are under the grandstand.
Yeah, well, when Hunter Cole comes to the bat, you don't want to stop the game by any means.
That is true. As the first one bounced into him 1-0. As long as it doesn't rain sideways,
we should be good.
We are always here to protect our equipment. Discussion going on with the umpire right now. Vince from Tarboro checking on things. Dawson Smith still on the mound, and his 1-0 to Cole in there for a strike, 1-1. Cole grounded out his first time up. A chance to DH tonight. One takes this one to center field. Dolberry ranged over, making the catch. And there are 2 away.
It was a good barrel by Hunter Cole, but not quite.
The catcher, number 13, Jacob.
That pitch was on the outer half, and it's really tough to go out and get it and then pull it towards right center and have it go out of the yard. But now for Jacob Bishrot, Ray, you're seeing a lot of first pitch curveballs from Dawson Smith, and as Kevin Costner has Crash Davis and Bull Durham, he was one of the best hitters on the team. He knew he was getting a lot of first pitch breaking balls, and he sets the dugout. They start me off with the breaking ball. I'm taking them downtown.
Let's see what happens here. Starting off with a breaking ball, just low. Not going to take that one downtown.
He'll wait for the fastball to take him downtown. How about that?
As long as he sends one out, I'll be pretty happy. Actually, I'm not that greedy. Just getting on base usually makes me a happy man. 1-0. Low and outside as it bounces to the backstop, 2-0. Bishrot reached on an error. Ground ball to third base that brought Chase Bruno home. Bishrot also stole a base in the top of the first. Steamers still equipped with that 1-0 lead. The top of the third right now. Smith's 2-0. Upstairs. 3-0.
Good leave there by Bishrot. And it was destined for a pop-up to sky straight up in the air.
Take sign likely on here. 3-0. I'll stand corrected. He grounds that one through the hole for a base hit. I think he'll take those results. That's a guy that wants to hit.
Well, yeah, 100%. I mean, in these games that don't have any implications towards playoffs, I think everyone deserves the green light. But there will be no lights here as the lights that just went out.
The lights have gone out here. It appears we still have Wi-Fi. This is a real Super Bowl, the San Francisco and Baltimore Super Bowl. I forget what number that was, situation.
Yeah, well, the problem with that, Ray, is there was so much going on in that stadium that everything just basically exploded. Tarboro Municipal Stadium, not quite like the Super Bowl. However, probably be the Super Bowl as this could be where the championship is held or any big playoff game.
Yeah, so we had like 2 remaining bulbs on in right center field. They just went out. So they joined the rest of their friends going out. The scoreboard's still on. You can kind of see that from the other side. We mentioned the flash of lightning. It's very hot tonight. It's a hazy hot, the kind of hot that you would expect a thunderstorm after, honestly. We are currently taking you through a light delay, which, if you remember, we did a rain delay, so we're just going to try and give you as much as we can. There's a nice contingent of Steamers that have now gone over and joined Brett Folk over in the first base coach's box. Casey Hare, Anthony Sherwin,
Fist bump.
Giving Nux, yeah, just hanging out.
Nothing wrong with some knuckles.
No, a couple of guys just hanging out. Jackson Hip, Joe Haney having a conversation, Marshall McDonald working over there. We've got a group of 4 fans that have decided to get up and start moving. A decent crowd here tonight at Tarboro. The umpire holding court with a few River Bandits. The third base side of the field. Adam, you never know what you're going to get when you come to the ballpark.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I mean, it looks like we conquered Mother Nature. However,
We have big news, breaking news.
Oh boy.
Tommy Bass telling us it's pouring in Edenton. That's about an hour and 15 minutes from us, northeast, if I have this correct by my bearings of North Carolina.
Compass.
Yes, my North Carolina compass. I'm not really great with this. Right now, you just missed to the edge of the screen. Bat Boy Chesson and Tyrus Bumgardner having a fun game of who can pick up who. Now we got a real collection of River Bandits and Steamers hanging out, talking. The outfielders have come together in right center field, which I have to really criticize their choice of gathering location. Center field seems like the logical choice. Seems like it's just a real hike for Levi Gill to go out there and meet.
Somewhat. You know, when they say there's lightning in the area, you want to find like a wide open space and just, you know, curl up into a ball. I'm not sure that's what's going on there, but we had Joe Haney taking some practice cuts out there. Now he's all done. And Tyrus Bumgarner is still having fun over there with Scotty, Daniel Brandon. Well, now we got this time. Let's talk about some of the awards that were won last night, the Clammies.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, okay. We were talking about Tyrus Bumgarner. He won Team Clown Award for funniest player on the team, and we gave him a picture of his favorite person to clown, Daniel Brandon, and Daniel Brandon then signed it, and they went on their merry way.
Just best buddies, of course. As now we got a real collection of guys over here. This is some friendly stuff. These are two teams that have been going at it for the playoffs the entire season. And granted, they are at least 5 or 6 days away from playing a game that counts against one another, depending on the way things shake out. And might be a good time bringing that. But we'll get back to our awards here. It's Tyrus Bumgarner. We were excited to give him that picture of Daniel Brandon. We thought it was a fitting gift for him at the end of the season.
Yeah, just in case he doesn't have to look at Daniel Brandon enough as they go to college together and play Little League together.
Right.
But yeah, when you talk about, you know, these two teams now becoming friends, time heals all wounds, and it's looking like that's going to be the case here. And the All-Star game always heals a lot of wounds as well. And now we have a development here.
I don't like the sight of that, Adam.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I do not like the sight of that. We see tarps stop baseball games, and I am a fan of playing baseball games.
You can't play on a tarp, right? When the tarp goes down, that means you can't play.
That is not good. We do not like that. Now we have our resident meteorologist who is based just outside of Philadelphia but follows his North Carolina weather, Matt Fine. Looks like you might get some rain. Doesn't look bad. It's all north in Edenton and Elizabeth City. So thank you to our weatherman, Matt Fine. His degree in economics, doing a great job to pass along that information to us. I'm curious with the lights. The lights are the thing that have really got to me because, you know, we could get all the rain in the world. I'm just curious what happened with the lights.
Yeah, exactly, because there's still music playing. We still have Wi-Fi, so did someone just try and be silly and flip the switch? I'm not sure what's going on.
I mean, we always make that joke. We collectively make that joke every night when we turn on the lights in the press box.
Well, 100%, and right, I mean, rain or shine, if there's no shine within the lights, it could be dry as ever, no tarps on. We're not playing tonight.
Yeah, that is true. You know, you do need lights to play when it's dark out. This is not some wiffle ball backyard league where you're just throwing something. Yeah, I mean, it would be a good idea. I would pay to watch these guys play wiffle ball for a night.
Just a lot of nostalgia just hit me there, Ray. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of wiffle ball. I mean, I know our director of marketing promotion stay with the Boys and Girls Club got a chance to play a little bit of wiffle ball. They had the tee. First time, he swung and hit the tee, so it was a tough look for our guy, Nick Neistat. But the second time, he got his barrel path correct, hit the ball over the teal monster. Granted, they were playing in left field, so it wasn't the longest hit in the world, but he did hit a home run.
Yeah, it might have been 30 feet away, but who cares? I mean, if you do it, you do it. Nick Neistat's been really working on his swing. He's been shagging BP with the teams a lot, so he's been putting in the work.
He's been getting better. We have a confirmation to the report from Tommy Bass. My host mom, Ray Oler, telling me it is pouring cats and dogs in Edenton. So it's a good thing that this was the final road trip of the season, because had this been happening at Historic Hicks Field, I have a bad feeling we'd be doing the 30 minutes of there's someone running the concession stand, there's somebody running for the exits, and that's the ball game, folks. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, no, it was funny the first time, Ray, but a second time I think that would definitely be a little frustrating when there's no baseball going on.
Yeah, I mean, it is a quite frustrating thing when we like baseball here. Like, I would say we're pro baseball.
Yeah, I don't think they hired us to talk about rain delays.
No, they didn't.
If they did, then sure, but I mean,
The rain delay might get us our next job.
maybe that's something for the Olympics, but not here in the U.S.
That, you know, did you see the tweet that was like, name something that feels like an Olympic sport that is an Olympic sport? That calling the rain delay felt like an Olympic sport. It's not, but it felt like one.
100%. Like when you carry the groceries in with one trip, that feels like an Olympic sport. I was watching the Olympics this morning.
Really?
I had some time on my hands. I was doing my knee stretches for my physical therapy.
Right.
And I clicked on the Olympics and badminton. So much fun. Do you ever play badminton in gym class, Ray?
Of course.
I might have been the best player east of the Mississippi.
Okay.
However,
Seems like an overreaction, but go ahead.
I was nasty, and I felt like I could definitely at least hold my own on the Olympic stage the way they were playing.
You can hold your own on the Olympic stage.
Hold my own doesn't mean win, Ray.
No. But you have to understand, hold your own. Like, you can hold your own, like, racket. That's about the only thing you're going to be a hold
I
in
can
that.
spike it like it's nobody's business.
I bet you get shut out in an Olympic game.
You're probably right. It was just always fun to watch that.
Yes.
On sports that aren't like the main popular sports, I always watch them and say, you know what? You gave me a month of practice, I could be just as good. But then again, I realized
couldn't,
that
but yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah.
We love your confidence, though. We love, that's a confident guy. You just bring that confidence to the ballpark every day. That's why we do as well as we do, you know. It's just Adam's confidence spread throughout this entire organization.
Look, we got some maybe Olympic sports right here. We got, if you can see in your corner of your screen, we got hacky sack.
Yep. And I'm curious with the tarp placement. I guess this is for where everything puddles up, that we're just, you know, just plugging the holes as we go here, because we have a tarp right now just kind of out there, the edge of the infield in shallow left. We've got a tarp over at first base. Oh, it's interesting. It's cool to see what they're trying to do to keep this field all fixed up.
Yeah, it's definitely a bold strategy, right? I mean, it's definitely floods over there in those areas where those extra tarps are. So maybe that's something that we should look into, because I know near that Budweiser sign in left center, when it rains, that thing is a puddle for weeks. And if we could handle that.
It's lake left field.
Lake left field.
Yes.
I like that.
Lake left field. I've trademarked it. I'm going to sell T-shirts.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is when I'm running to catch a fly ball and then I take a dive, and instead of catching the ball, I catch a lot of water in my face.
Well, I mean, I think you just kind of have to toughen up. I'm going to be honest with you. So we have our general manager, Tyler Russell, here in attendance tonight. He was just having a conversation with Marshall McDonald. I'm sure they are taking notes on how to keep the stadium dry, because, you know, we've had some issues with that. We do have some more fan questions coming in here from at home. Tommy Bass wants to know what the birdie is called in badminton.
Oh, they were talking about this, Ray. I know it. Give me a second.
Okay.
They were talking about it, and I promise you I was paying attention. Tommy Bass also asked me, is Ray scared of the dark?
I'm not scared of the dark. Scared of the dark is the wrong way to put that. I am concerned by the dark. When we're playing a baseball game and it goes dark, I get concerned because I like the game so much that I'm afraid it's not going to come back.
This sounds like a man in denial.
No. If you just drop me in the dark, I'm perfectly fine with the dark. The problem is when we're playing baseball and the lights go out, then I'm worried about the game not continuing. And I don't know if you read my job description, but it has a lot to do with the game continuing. I'm just a guy that likes to work. Hacky sack. Papa Tom asking about hacky sack down there. We got Brett Folk, Daniel Willie, Chesson, the Bat Boy, Case Kermo, Jackson Hip. Looks like Cole Bates run over there. Rich, our guy who is our Sam the Clam, down there participating. So we got a healthy group of Steamers down there alongside Will Smith from the River Bandits. play in hacky sack. Two teams talking it out. Jack Kulamovic, Josh Pernetti having a conversation near the first base line. Jackson Cherry out there talking with Clark Dearman, Alan Brown. Further down the first base line, just a lot of cross-group discussions. You have been invited over to my host family's place for badminton, as we have a badminton net set up in the backyard, according to my host mom, Ray Ollard. So
The fact that it's July 26th and this is the first I've known of that is really disappointing. However, I'm going to look on the positive side, and I'm definitely coming over and to school you in badminton.
All right. Well, I will let you guys know that he won't be able to hold his own against me, but he still thinks he can hold his own against Olympians.
Oh, man. We should have, like, Nick Neistat and our own McCray Knapp broadcast us playing badminton.
That's fine. More than fine. So it is just past 8 o'clock. We are in the top of the third inning. The Steamers have a runner on with 2 outs. Lead this game 1-0. If you're just joining us, the lights went out. We saw some lightning, the lights went out. Now we're anticipating some rain. If you can't tell by the tarps put out all over the field. Hacky sack being played. We're taking it through another delay, what we love to do on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Adam Fine, myself, Ray Dunn. We've been talking about a lot. Adam, is there anything you really want to get off your chest? Just let the people at home know.
Well, I'll tell a cool fact, and it is kind of about myself.
Good.
Today is July 26th. A year ago today, I hit my first ever home run over the fence in a game in my life for the Steamers in a close game against the Tidewater
Drillers, yes.
Drillers, yes. Aiden Kuehl's former team and Jacob Mustang's former team, and that was the first time ever I hit a ball over the fence in a game in my life. I didn't do it in Little League, and so that was a cool moment.
Sounds like it'd be a cool moment. I love home runs. I'd love to be a part of one day. We do have a quick commentary placed on the badminton game. It has been postponed due to Adam Fine's bad knee.
Maybe off air, we'll get that going. I'm not going to say anything on the air while Matt Fine is listening. We'll have our athletic trainer, Courtney Phelps, there in attendance for the badminton game, just in case anything goes bad.
That seems like you're planning for disaster, and I don't like the fact that you're planning for disaster. We should mention, they have brought back on lights under the grandstand right now. So there are lights, spotlights over parts of where people are sitting. We have seen a number of people make their way towards the exits. Mostly we see a lot of people just fanning themselves. It's hot here tonight. It's hazy, it's hot, humid. Obviously we don't have any information on the game, when a potential restart to this game would be. But we're just here to enjoy the moment. And Adam, I ask you this every time we have a delay, but how's your summer going, man? You enjoying things?
Oh, man. My summer is great. I can't believe it is almost over. Man, I've had fun making friends with you, Ray, and some other guys on the team, and the banquet last night was a blast.
Banquet was a blast.
Not to, like, pat myself on the back or us on the back, but we got a lot of good reviews on our Clammy Awards.
Right, but, you know, that's in the past now. That's set the bar. We just have to continue to climb. You know, you can't ride the highs for too long. You got to just enjoy what's going on. As now I'm being threatened with a failing grade. My professor, Matt Fine, and Adam's dad threatening me with an F if I let him play badminton. So you're not playing.
And here's the problem with that is Matt Fine does come down to Edenton tomorrow.
So
we'll have to get this badminton game in tonight or something like that.
And with all the rain and Edenton, it's gonna be really slippery. This is all really coming to a bad ending, this discussion. Let's take you through the playoffs, shall we? While we're sitting here, because we teased it in the open, and then once we talk about the playoffs, we're gonna get you to give us your rankings of the road trips we took during the regular season. So start working. If you want to get working on a list, feel free, or don't. The playoffs that begin this Friday at historic Hicks Field. The Steamers, the number 2 seed in the Premier Collegiate League Eastern Division, taking on the Greenbrier Knights, the number 3 seed. The winner of that game will play Saturday here at Tarboro Municipal Stadium against the River Bandits. And the losers of those first 2 games will meet in the elimination game for the Divisional Championship Tournament on August 1st. And the winner of that elimination game will go on to play the team that wins here at Tarboro on Saturday. Those two teams will play until someone has 2 losses. And then the team that remains left standing after all of that plays the winner of the Premier Collegiate League Western Division, which is going through a similar bracket. So there's a lot of situations that can turn up as a result of this bracket. The Steamers can win Friday night, win Saturday, have an off day Sunday, and then play Monday for a chance to go to the championship. That's a very nice scenario. I would say most people in favor of that scenario. There's also a scenario where they lose on Friday and then have to play Sunday, or win Friday, lose Saturday, and have to play on Sunday. That win Friday, lose Saturday scenario where you have to play on Sunday is definitely difficult on the pitching.
Yeah, 100%. You're going to need some strong outings from the starters. Like we said earlier, when we have played a lot of doubleheaders back to back to back and all that, you need a really strong outings from the starters, and the bullpen guys are going to need to hold their own as well.
Yes, and obviously there's a lot to get through between now and then. There's still 2 more games the regular season. We don't want to discount what that might bring. Some guys going to be able to get some more experience, get some more ABs, some pitchers getting into games. And I know that you want to get to the comments on the stream as we have some discussion about what may or may not be taking place tomorrow, front office BP. Adam, go right ahead.
Oh, yeah, no. Courtney, please be there for front office BP, and do not tell my father, as we should be good if that goes down.
So our athletic trainer, Courtney Phelps, I will appreciate her being there for BP because...
You might just tear a hammy just looking at a baseball bat.
That's not true. I took some swings in the cage at the beginning of the summer. Before all of you got down here, I was getting my swings in, and then all the players showed up, and all the attention turned to them, and it wasn't about the front office anymore.
Yeah, no, I understand. As a front office member, the first time hanging around the guys, you don't want to act like some weirdo. Right. So good for you. You can act like a weirdo now as much as you want, but
right. Well, as long as everyone still likes me after last night's monologue and then Clammy Awards, I think I'm doing okay. Getting back to what we were talking about with the divisional championship tournament, all gets started on Friday. That first home game, and then from that point on, a little bit of chaos because of just the way it's going to work with pitching. Marshall McDonald today in the office telling me he's ready. He's set. He's got his rotation ready to go. Obviously, he hopes that this is just a 3-win ordeal. Win Friday, Saturday, and then on Monday, and then get ready for the championship game and roll with what you got. But he's preparing himself for all scenarios that could happen in this tournament.
Exactly. You really got to keep your head on a swivel if you're Marshall McDonald, because baseball is a crazy game. I mean, we see that here tonight, so you never know what could really take place, and if there's, God forbid, an injury or someone has a crazy start and you have to change your plans for good. You never want to just stick to a plan and then throw all other options out the window, because for all we know, Jared Davis could go 9 innings and shut the door in the first playoff game, and then Marshall McDonald has a lot of new things to work with. But
Jared Davis, Clark Dearman, Daniel Willey, the 3 starters who will be the top of your rotation as the divisional championship tournament gets started. And it makes sense. Those 3 combined with Spencer Ambrose have not allowed an earned run as they started for this team in 21 straight innings. The last 4 starts for the Steamers, 21 innings out of your starting rotation, not a single earned run allowed.
Yeah, if that continues, there'll be a lot of happy clams in Edenton.
You will have a lot of happy clams. Not bad over there. As that's what you're looking forward to in terms of the divisional championship tournament. On the other side, we've mentioned a couple of times, but we do want to give you a quick glance at what's happening out west, because eventually there will be a matchup between the East and West champion. We can't just focus on the divisional championship tournament, as the Fungo will be the 1 seed. They play the winner of the Twins and Pirates. And then it's the same format throughout. So winner of Twins, Pirates plays the Fungo. The losers of those two games play each other in the elimination game. The winner of the elimination game goes on to play whoever wins the game against the Fungo. And then those teams play until there's 2 losses, and that'll be the way things go out of there. The Fungo have been the dominant team in that division for the better part of the last 2 to 3 weeks, including sweeping 4 against the Twins. The Twins with a solid weekend against the Pirates this past weekend, as they sit at 16-11. The Fungo sitting at 14-5, and the Pirates sitting at 4-18. So then when you look at the East right now, River Bandits 16-8, the Steamers 12-10, and the Greenbrier Knights 9-19. There is 2 more between the Steamers and the Knights after tonight. Those are the final games in division play this season, Tuesday and Wednesday at historic Hicks Field. So hope to catch you there at the ballpark. Wednesday night, fireworks. And I know...
Baby, I'm a firework.
That's not it. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Have your moment. We're going to get copyrighted. You know what's going to happen? People aren't going to be able to watch this broadcast. We're going to get copyrighted because you sang that so closely to the way Katy Perry does.
I appreciate that, Ray. I was a little scared when I first said that. I thought you were going to get upset, but now that you thought I sounded as beautifully as I thought I sounded, that sounds good. But now, let me talk about my favorite road trips. How's that sound?
You know what? Let's jump right into it. So there was a number of road trips taken this season. Some Coastal Plain League teams. We got a couple of Premier Collegiate League teams. Which road trip sticks out to you?
Well, I'm a little biased because it's definitely got to be the Peninsula Pilots. We beat them. It was a really, really good crowd that night, too. A lot of people. And the way we beat them in Hunter Cole Grand Slam, and unfortunately the stream wasn't working, but that allowed me and Ray to be in the dugout to really witness what it was like in the dugout. So that was, if there was one stream to cut out, I would want that one too, so I can be in the dugout and witness all that fun. And look out, we got Brantley Cutler on your screen. That's some good hair. Back to Peninsula. Yeah, that was definitely a great field. It's just fun, Peninsula.
War Memorial is a really cool place to be. And that had minor league baseball up until about the 90s. And obviously the Pilots have been a good organization. The rivalry between the Steamers and Pilots in the CPL days might have cooled off a little bit this year. Was certainly there last year when you were a member of the team. So I'm sure you enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one too. I do have to say though, I like the trip down to the Shark Tank. The results weren't there, but in terms of places to go, it was pretty cool to go down to Wilmington.
Yeah, totally. If you forget the fact that it was 3.5 hours,
right.
Definitely my number 2. Shark Tank is awesome. Great fan base. The PA guy was hilarious. It was a really cool view from center field. Yep. It was just really, and I also got to see 2 former Steamer teammates, so that was a lot of fun too. When it sticks out to favorite road trips, it's definitely those are my top 2, and then the rest is how I look at it.
And on top of that, I mean, Morehead City also going down to the Big Rock, getting to see that ballpark. It was early in the season, so it's not quite on the forefront of our brains, but Daniel Brandon had a great start there. I know. Were you around that point for the Morehead City trip?
I was not there.
I was going to say, I thought that was around the time where you had left town for a little bit.
I took a slight detour, Ray. Yeah. I had to get some things checked out, and, you know, I don't know, the thought of hanging out with you, I needed some time at home to really just sit with my thoughts and be okay with that. And, you know, because, I mean, that's another lightning strike, I think, right there.
So lightning strike, that doesn't bode well for us.
No. Well, I mean, it can lightning all at once. As long as these lights stay off, there isn't going to be no baseball.
Right. But that just resets the clock for another 30 minutes in terms of a delay. And going back to the Morehead City trip, I thoroughly enjoyed the Morehead City trip just because of Daniel Brandon's performance. They were very welcoming to us down there. The Marlins were, and I got to be in the press box for that one. So I liked that trip and all of them. You know, we had some fun during the regular season this year. As the road trips now will dwindle down to pretty much what you're seeing in front of us for playoff games.
Yeah, 100%. It's only going to be, could be Tarboro for a couple times. We're not quite sure.
I don't like what we're seeing here. Light's coming back, so that might be good. I don't like the fact that Tyrus Baumgartner's got a backpack on. It does seem like we had some sort of decision made. There's some more lightning.
Yeah, a lot of good things and bad things. The lights are turning on. The tarps are still on, though. We got some backpacks on there for Aaron Copeland and Baumgartner, but the lights are turning on. A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, I see Tyler Russell packing up, and anytime I see the general manager packing up, I know that's not a good sign. So I think I am going to read the writing on the wall here and say that this one is done for tonight. Again,
I had a good time for the 3 innings that we played, Ray.
yeah, we had a really fantastic time. You know, we always make it a great time. We've been on the air now for over 90 minutes, and it's just a real splendid time to be around here. Next time that these two teams match up will be a playoff game.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more at stake next time and a lot more energy. I won't be singing Katy Perry songs as well because I'll have to be locked in and focused, and we'll be ready to go.
That'd be sweet. That will be sweet. I imagine the next time these two teams play, there won't be gatherings of guys hanging out along the first baseline just chopping up. I think it'll be a little more serious, a little more intense.
Yeah, definitely.
So as I'm watching down there, Hunter Cole's giving a wave up. He's got his key on. He wants us to let us know he's got the key on, the key to the city. That's a ball game. They're getting changed into their warm-up gear. So, Adam, do you have any final thoughts on what we got to watch here tonight?
Well, the only thoughts I really have are the fun time that we had. But I definitely got to say, I mean, it was a pretty regular game. As it was, Casey Harris showing us some love. It was a pretty regular game. We saw a nice barrel from Hunter Cole, nice play from Ryan Kay, Bisharat, RBI. But other than that, it was just a walk in the park. But it wasn't a walk in the park for you and me. I had a good time. Always a pleasure, Mr. Dunn.
Steamers leading 1-0 after not even 2.5 innings here at Tarboro Municipal Stadium. That's the ball game. Mother Nature always has something in her plans against us playing baseball. It's all right. We'll be back at tomorrow night. It's the Greenbrier Knights coming to historic Hicks Field. Adam Fine. For Adam Fine.
For me.
I'm Ray Dunn. We hope that you tune in tonight to the Knights game. If not,